This is a fabulous instrument. As a development tool, it's game-changing. Welcome to my eKit course, utilizing this instrument as a development tool, both physically and creatively. What I'm going to do is a series of lessons with everything as a bass drum. And then other lessons utilizing this wonderful instrument's ability to assign whatever sound you want. Odd configurations that really make you get extra creative. This course really is about the use of an eKit as a tool. In this first lesson in my eKit course, I'd like to talk about shape as a development tool. In other words, regular drums force you to position them in areas that you really don't have any choice to put them in. For example, if you have a bigger bass drum and you're a young kid or small kid, you put a tom-tom on that, you can barely reach it. The beauty of this instrument is that the depth here is very, very shallow. So you could place this anywhere you wanted to, and you can experiment with different heights and different positions just for fun, just as a development tool. But specifically, what I want to point out to consider is setting your kit up in a mostly symmetrical way. The point is to see the shape, like there's a triangle here. There's a triangle here. The idea is to develop your body by way of shape. This is a different approach. It's the use of the eyes. So start with that. Think about the positioning of your eKit instruments and try to get some kind of form of symmetry to it to begin. In this second lesson, I'm kind of going to parlay off the shape motif that was discussed in lesson 1 and include the use of distances. Now, this is a vital development area of drumming because of the balance shifts. I'm suggesting strongly that you keep your heels off the ground. Even if you're a heel down player, or you come up with the idea, well, I need to practice heel down for certain things, great. I'm not talking about that, either of those things. Some practicing muscle isolation, or as a player, that's kind of how you play. What I'm doing is I'm addressing the fact that you need your heels to be up to feel your balance shifts. And we're going to use this kit with all of these instruments, except this one, sounding the same. They all have a bass drum sound assigned, the same one. And it's wild when you first try this kind of thing. So we're going to use distances, and the issue is to focus on how your feet sort of swivel and go to the opposite way of your upper body. Does that make sense? You can see them turning. If I turn this way, my feet go that way to compensate. If your heels are down, you don't even utilize that. Why do you want to utilize it? Because you're activating, by the use of your calf muscles, your hip flexors, your adductors, and your balance sensors. So that's the whole thing here. We're trying to sense balance by listening to the same sound, because you can really hear when you don't hit evenly. Let me demonstrate for you using a paradiddle, okay? And I'll just use distances. Even hitting this, because it's a different surface, I could really hear the difference in dynamics, so I had to adjust. Bring my stick tips up. Did you see that? But it affected my whole body. You really notice it when you're using the same sounds. Let me use a couple other shapes. With that said, my point is I'm using distances with the same sound. It helped to teach me that this move, which is a straight line, there's no way that this should be in the way, but I hit it. So you really sense that. And you start to feel what it is you're doing with your body to compensate. And that's the point of this lesson, is you're trying to use this as a tool, a development tool for your balance shifts and your calibration, your recalibration of your balance in order to keep in time. That's the whole point, because you kind of don't think about it when you're playing a standard groove, which I'm going to do with all the kick drums here, but you don't feel it as much. You know, you're in the same position and you do a drum fill and like, okay, I'm going to move around the kit and hit the cymbal. But after you work with the distances, you actually feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going around the kit, and you feel the need to maybe flex your oblique muscle to pull back and strike the cymbal. So that really doesn't happen to that detail when you're so used to the sounds. And that's the benefit at this point of having the kit shaped fairly symmetrically and using distances to help you get in the mindset that you're a human being and you have to recalibrate your balance shifting, and that is how you sense that you're in time or out of time.